All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is Wednesday, September 19th. It's about 3:15 in the afternoon. It's a balmy 69 degrees outside here in beautiful Massachusetts. Today we got a bit of a double show for you. Couldn't get to it yesterday. I'm going to be on the road tomorrow. So we're going to do our Week 2 recap and our Week 3 preview, all jammed into one mega episode, if you will. I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe I'll post on the bottom here what time the second one starts. If you want to come back to it and do two separate sessions. I don't know if we'll have time. We'll see.
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
But all that being said, let's jump right into it right away with our Week 2 recap. You serious? As always, we'll go in order of points scored. So first up on the list, we have Daniel McCallan, 184 to Walter's 129. This one was ugly, folks. Walter had huge days from his quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins gave him 44. Andy Dalton gave him 34. So nice little 1-2 punch there. They call that a tease. He also got decent days from Keelan Cole, got him 24. The Rams D got him 17. Antonio Brown and Devin Funchess each got him 11 points. So pretty good day from McCallan, mostly because of his quarterbacks who gave him 80 points combined. Over on Walt's side, not great at all. Put up under 130. Under 130 would have been even worse if it wasn't for Adam Thielen and his 28 points. Walter only had 5 guys in double digits, so not great. Walter slides down to 0-2 as expected. We'll get more into that later with the power rankings. Next up, we had Jensen losing to Ryan. Ryan would score 184 to Jensen's 175. Jensen really blew this one. He was projected to win, almost break 200, pretty much all freaking day, thanks to Patrick Mahomes and his 51.8 points. Travis Kelce got him 29 points. Garoppolo got him 18. Juju Smith got him 27. So a couple decent days, a couple not so great days as his kicker, Greg Zerlin, goes down early, gets 0 points. The Duke only gets him 2. What are you going to do? A lot of points scored, still gets the L, as only Jensen can. On Ryan's side, huge days from pretty much everybody. He had 4 guys over 20 points. Another 5, 6, 7, 8 guys got up to double digits. So he really dominated. Matt Stafford got him 33. Todd Gurley with a big day got him 30. So really no surprise there from Ryan. The train keeps on rolling, but I think the tracks are going to be coming off pretty soon. Jump now to Reynolds defeating Jack, 171 to 153. Did it really without a second quarterback as Marcus Mariota didn't even play. Cam Newton got him 36.6 points. Melvin Gordon got him 27. Matt Breida got him 26. Stephon Diggs got him 34. Michael Thomas got him 24. Those 5 guys really won the day here for Reynolds, as nobody else even broke 10, much less, double, triple digits, whatever. Over on Jack's side, decent day from Breida, got him 21. Very good day on Thursday night from AJ Green, got him 27. Jack finished with 153 here. Mason Crosby got him 19, you're welcome. But really not a great day overall for Jack's squad. Moving on now to TJ's 155 defeating your commissioner with a score of 126. Just a terrible day for your commissioner. Crappy day for his quarterbacks, got him 26 combined. His best player, DeAndre Hopkins, got 23. Golden Tate got him 18. Hogan got him 17 late. The Ravens lost him 1.5, so not great. Over on TJ's side, nice day from TJ, 155 points, led mostly by Will Fuller's 24.3. Sammy Watkins got him 19. Amari Cooper got him 19. His quarterbacks got him 15 and 18 respectively, so decent day for his squad. That's about the point total you want if you want to keep winning in this league. Moving on down to Coyle's team. Coyle defeats Patrick 135 to 124. Coyle had good days from Tommy Brady, got him 20. Deshaun Watson got him 25. T.Y. Hilton 17. Devontae Adams 16. Evan Ingram 16. So not a bad day for him. Joe Mixon unfortunately does go down on this one. That's Coyle's, first round pick. We'll get more into that later, but could be a big loss for Coyle's team. Over on Patrick's side, not great. 124 points total. Big Ben got him 46. Dak Prescott got him 16. Saquon Barkley got him 17. Bilal Powell got him 16. If Big Ben doesn't have 46, this is a lot uglier for Patrick and possibly talking about lowest scores of all time, if you know what I'm saying. Finally, in our last and lowest scoring game of the week, we had Sokol narrowly defeating Cole by a score of 132 to 128. Sokol had a huge day for Matty Ice, got him 34 points. Everybody else was kind of mediocre, middle of the road. Chris Boswell, the kicker for the Steelers, actually lost the point, which is incredible to lose a point when your team puts up 37 points. I don't know how he did that for kickers. Over on Cole's side, more balanced day. Goff got him 23. McCaffrey got him 23. Zach Ertz got him 14. Derek Carr got him 17. Nobody else really did anything of value, so you finished with 128 points. All right. Now, it is time for everybody's favorite segment of the week. It is your Week 2 Power Rankings. No surprise here. First on the list, Ryan McCallum. Got almost 400 points to date on the year, so he stays at the top spot. I'm pretty sure he's going to blow it, though, so I'm not worried. Moving up 4 spots to number 2 is Reynolds. Won this week without even playing a second quarterback. Pretty impressive, so he takes the number 2 spot. TJ moves up a spot to number 3. Slowly but surely climbing up this ladder in the power rankings. I think he'll end up with a pretty good season when it's all said and done. Dropping down a spot is Jensen. Put up a lot of points, but ended up losing, so got to drop him a spot.
You blew it!
He really blew it on this one. He had a lead all freaking day and then just fell apart at the end. McCallan moves up 6 spots to number 5. Huge day for McCallan. Put up, 185 points basically. So that's pretty big for him. Huge bounce back week. Let's see if we can keep it going this week against your commish. We'll get to it in a minute, but chances are not going to happen. Your commish then comes in at number 6, dropped 4 spots. Ugly week this week after what was a pretty stellar week in week 1. We'll see if I can bounce back against McCallan. This is going to be a big week between the two of us, I think, to kind of claim dominance for the foreseeable future. We got Cole checking in number 7, drops 2 spots. Terrible week this week, but had a great week 1, so you got to find that balance there. Again, it's still early. Coyle moves up a spot. He won ugly, but he won, so a win is a win is a win. Johnny moves up 3 spots, won this week, and honestly, Josh Gordon going to Foxborough might be the best thing that's ever happened to him. We'll find out. Jack drops 2 more spots, another L for Jack. This one was pretty ugly as well, as he lost by about 20 points. Did put up decent numbers, 153, but still 0-2 is 0-2. Like I said, that championship hangover is hitting hard. Drinking too much out of that mug. Patrick drops 4 spots. I made a joke last week about Patrick maybe having the best team he's had in a decade, and just never mind. Finally, surprise, surprise, folks, Mr. Camacho finds himself dead last on the power rankings, as we all expected when we welcomed him into the league 3 years ago. All right, let's get to our weekly superlatives. First up, let's do our sweet and sour this week. It's going to go right away in our highest scoring game. McAllen's Kirk Cousins put up 425 yards and 4 touchdowns, totaling 44.5 points. Very good day. However, 12 of those receptions, 131 yards and a touchdown, went to Walter's Adam Thielen, totaling 28.1 points. Not great. Really want to avoid giving your opponent all of his points. Without that score, those 28 points, Walter probably finishes right around 100, which would be a true ass kicking. We're going to stick with McCallan, though, as we hand out our 1-2 punch here. His quarterbacks, Cousins and Dalton, combined for, I'm going to just on the fly, 690 points and 690 yards and 8 touchdowns, totaling 79.1 points. So decent day for McAllen's quarterbacks. Really won him this game handedly. So pretty good there. Jensen, you're going to get the double dip this week.
You dipped the chip, you took a bite, and you dipped again.
Jensen had quarterback Patrick Mahomes and tight end Travis Kelce. Mahomes went for 23 completions for 326 yards and 6 goddamn touchdowns, totaling 51.8 points. His tight end Kelce, who's also Jensen's tight end Kelce, had 7 of those catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns, totaling 29.4 points. Decent day for Jensen and his Chiefs. Didn't help that over on Ryan's side, he also had Tyreek Hill, who went for 5 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Definitely a sweet and sour contender, but lost out in the end to McAllen and Walter. Doofus of the day.
Side. Beat it, Doofus.
Is going to go to your commissioner. Naturally, Fitzmagic comes out again, gunslinging, throws for 402 yards, 4 touchdowns, totaling 41 points. Just another spectacular day for your boy, and he's on my bench. Instead, I played Tyrod Taylor and Case Keenum, who combined for about 26.9 points. So, pretty shit day for your commissioner. Finally, our MVP of the week.
Only me get pizza every game. MVP, valuable pizza eater.
No surprise here. I'm going to go to Jensen's Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, he completed 23 passes for 326 yards and 6 goddamn touchdowns. Just an absolutely absurd day for him. So that one's pretty easy to hand out. All right, let's move on now to what I'll call as the Week 3 preview section of this episode. We talked about it a little bit last week. I didn't do it last week, but I want to address the free agent auction bidding that is going on for waivers. Last week, I'll look at quickly with you guys. What I really want to focus on here is the wasted money that people put up here. So, McAllen won Philip Lindsay with a bet of $21. The next closest bid was $0. So, McAllen, you basically wasted $20. Cole won the bidding for TJ Yeldon with a bid of $20. He defeated Jensen, who had a bid for TJ Yeldon of $7. So, Cole, you wasted essentially $12. Everybody get it? Okay. Sokol got Jared Cook for $8, wasted $8. Cole got a Kingsley Enunwa for $5, wasted $5. Reynolds got Lamar Jackson for $1, wasted $1. We'll move on to this week now. Gents picked up Dan Bailey for $4. Nobody else bid on him. That's a waste of $4. TJ with the Bears, $3. Jack with the Browns defense, $1. Cole, John Brown, $0. John Allison, $0. Will Disley, $0. Coyle, OJ Howard, $0 bids. All right, so nobody lost bids this week, which is interesting. I don't know if people forgot to do them, or nobody cared, or nobody wanted anybody. I think probably nobody wanted anybody. But we'll see how next week plays out as injuries continue to build. Speaking of injuries, there was a ton of news and notes going on in the league this week, so I thought we'd kind of have a quick roundup here. News-wise, obviously the big one is Gordon going to Foxborough. He's going to play with the Patriots. That's pretty huge. That's all I got for news. On the injury front, Joe Mixon obviously goes down, out for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks probably. We'll see how that one plays out. Gio Bernard's going to have a pretty big week, I would think, in his absence. Todd Gurley has muscle cramps. He's day-to-day. Dalvin Cook has a left hamstring cramp. He left that game early on Sunday. He's day-to-day. Melvin Gordon strained his neck. He's day-to-day. Larry Fitz left that game early on Sunday with a right hamstring strain. He's day-to-day. All those guys are probable, with the exception of Joe Mixon, who's obviously out. Jay Ajayi was day-to-day. He hurt his back or some shit. LaShawn McCoy broke his ribs or something. He's questionable. Mike Wallace is not expected to return. He broke his leg, so he's dead. And I guess the other news of note in the NFL is that Antonio Brown didn't show up on Monday to practice. He was arguing with the coaches on Sunday during his game. He tweeted out, like, just trade me then, like some bullshit like that. So keep an eye on that one. I think he showed up to practice this morning, so probably nothing coming from it. But again, we'll see. And the other big news for your commish here, obviously, is Carson Wentz is back this week. Doug Peterson's already said he's starting, nothing changing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So expect Wentz to be back in the field for your boy as well. All right, let's move on now to our Week 3 power rankings presented by Fantasy Pros. Obviously, we already went through our season-long power rankings out of Week 2. These Week 3 power rankings are really more like projections, if you will. So who's going to score? If you're at the top of the list, it means they're expected to score the most. If you're at the bottom of the list, you're expected to score the least. It's all based on, I think it's like 94 experts' general rankings and shit like that. So Ryan's at the top, no surprise. Your commission comes in second, Jen's third, TJ's in fourth, Coyle's 5, Jack is 6, Cole is 7, Reynolds is 8, Sokol's 9, Walter's 10, Patrick's 11, and McCallum brings in the rear at 12. Again, these are just projected scoring rankings for this upcoming week only, not season-long rankings. Taking those rankings into consideration, as well as the projections on ESPN, let's get into our Week 3 game preview. We'll start off with your commissioner, who's a 26-point favorite, taking on McCallum. Looks like I'm favored in every single position, with the exception of wide receiver 1, where Antonio Brown edges out DeAndre Hopkins by 2 points. This one could get hairy. We'll see if everybody stays healthy, how Carson Wentz responds in his first game back, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, let's move on now to Coyle being a 13-point underdog, taking on Ryan. Ryan's only projected at 162 points here, which seems low for his team, considering he's averaging almost 200 a week. But nonetheless, he's projected to beat Coyle in every single slot, except for really 2 quarterbacks, tight end, and defense. So I don't think Ryan's going to have a problem here, but we'll see how this one shapes out in the end. Let's move on to Cole, who's about a 12.5-point favorite, taking on Reynolds. This one I think is going to be pretty evenly matched. It really depends on Mariota's health and if he can come back for Reynolds or not. If he does, I think it'll be a decent game. If he doesn't, I think Cole's team is generally better, but you never know. Moving on now to Jensen being a 12-point favorite, taking on Patrick. This one's got some juice behind it. Patrick looks to only really be winning in RB1 and the tight end slot. Jensen looks like he's taking everything else. Don't know how this one's going to play out because Jensen still has Leonard Fournette in his lineup, who is day-to-day with that injury from a week ago or so. I think he's back practicing on a limited basis this week. He also has Larry Fitz, who left last week's game early. So this one could end up being a toss-up in the end. We'll see. Moving on, we got TJ is a 10-point favorite, taking on Walter. Walter's team stinks, so I'm really not going to spend much time on this one. But TJ should handedly take him on. TJ's team is better than he's projected at the 143 points, I think. So we'll see how that one goes. Finally, we have probably what's going to be named our game of the week for this week. We have Jack as a 3-point favorite, taking on Sokol. This one's generally a push, I'd say. Sokol still has Dalvin Cook in his lineup. Again, he left last week's game early with, I think, cramping in his hamstrings or some shit. So him playing and playing well will really depend on how Sokol ends up. Everybody else looks pretty evenly matched. So this one could turn out to be a pretty good game. We'll have to keep our eye on it as we go through the weekend. All right, I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. Got some great games coming up this week. Really only one blowout projected, so we'll see how that one fans out. Everybody else, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see most of you folks Saturday. Looking forward to it. Appreciate it. I love you guys. That's all for now. Peace.